Hey everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at some case knives. We're going to look at some history, some evolutional changes, and see where case has brought us today. So for those of you outside of the United States, Case Knives is a company that's been around since the late 1800s. It was started by several brothers, and they are still very popular today. They mainly tap into the knives that are slip joint, lock back, fixed blade. Very traditional, very held on to their roots. They are a company that doesn't do a whole lot of changes. They pretty much stick with what they do, and that's it. Knives that primarily have a steel of either high carbon or 420J2. Keep producing the same patterns every year, but they decide to change the handle material. It's very collector oriented. There are lots of users here in the South where I'm located, but they've never really ventured into the modern knife arena. They dabbled in a little bit with some knives that they were making over in China, but they never really took on. But what happened back in 2021, Case decided to enter into the modern knife market, try and see if they could get a foothold, and what they released were these three knives here. We have the Kinzua, the Marilla, and the Westline. The Kinzua came first. Kinzua is an aluminum handled pocket knife that features an S35 VN blade steel with an aluminum liner lock, steel lock bar insert. It had some issues in regards to quality concerns. Blade is overly thick for what it is. It's a very thick blade. But the issues that I had on two separate models was lock bar engagement. This one's a little bit better than the other one that I had. I had to take out the lock bar insert and had to file it down to get it to properly fit. I'm one of those weird people that believes something directly from the factory should be perfect, shouldn't have any quality concerns, but that's still going to happen. Stuff's still going to leak out, stuff's still going to get through, and it is what it is. The Marilla has a lot of the styling that the Kinzua has, but they offered either a full carbon fiber handle, or they had did this G10 insert. So you can see styling is a little bit different, more of a gentleman's folder, more than a tactical oriented. This comes in either a drop point or a Tonto. This, other than the handles, still just features a drop point blade. Blade is just as thick as it is on the Kinzua, but I just think it's a little more of an attractive knife. Still the S35, still aluminum frame lock. The lockup on this one's a lot better, but the pull on aluminum, the whole lock bar just feels a little light to me. I like a lock bar that's got some tension to it. And last in the series was the Westline. Westline, like the other two, has an aluminum handle, S35 VN blade. Only difference is that they went with a liner lock this time instead of an aluminum frame lock, which I think was a better choice for the series. Features a very pronounced, almost spear point type drop point. A lot of jimping on the top and the bottom, so you can really choke up if you choose to. So this series was fraught with some issues in regards to QC. In Case definitely heard from their customers, whether it be pocket clips that had screws that were overly too tall, so they caught funny on the pocket, or lockup concerns, or uneven bevels on the edges, or just random different things that would occur because of poor QC. So they took what they learned in 2021, and last year they introduced these guys. These guys would be the Longhouse and the Highbanks. So the Longhouse comes in rosewood. Well, both knives. They come in either a burlap micarta, a regular micarta, or a rosewood handle. They're different in their styling, but sort of similar. This one is a front flipper. This one is a slip joint. So when it comes to the Longhouse, Longhouse is different, that the flipper is on the top of the knife as opposed to on the front, like most front flippers, or on the rear of the flipper tab. And deploying it is done by pulling backwards off the top of the knife in order to pull that forward. Very unique. I have never seen a front flipper that deploys in that fashion. The knives, instead of featuring S35 blades, these are 20 CV, which is the American version of M390. This features a clip point blade with a flat grind, about 50, we'll say about 3/4 of the way grind. Aluminum construction, aluminum bolsters, aluminum frames, with the exception of the steel liner. The clip is the same on the 2021 models. The only thing you can see is they reduced the size of those screw heads, so inserting this into the pockets is way easier. So that's more their modern style. When it comes to the Highbanks, the Highbanks is more slip joint oriented. This one is in rosewood, so kind of feels more traditional. Same pinched, pinched and fluted type bolster that is on. Well, no, it's not. My bad. Oh, it's not fluted on the. I'm gonna make sure I'm in frame there. Not fluted on the Longhouse, but definitely fluted on the Highbanks. The knife blade on this one, you'll see, is more. You can say it's a drop point, but it is more of a modified Warncliffe. Also 20 CV, a full flat grind on this blade. This blade is a massive cutter compared to the Longhouse. Not a whole lot, but just enough. I like the stylistic swedge here on the top. Also all aluminum construction, same clip as the other one. So the different that in this one over the other one is how the slip joint mechanism is done, because as you can see, the back, there's no back spring. It doesn't come all the way up to the tang of the blade. This has detent balls at different places in the pivot to give you that walk and talk that you usually see on a slip joint knife. Very interesting, very forward thinking. So Case decided to release these to much fanfare, and people absolutely love them. They are definitely a testament of where Case is going in the industry. They dabbled a little bit in modern knives and learned from their mistakes, and they decided to go this way, which taps into their traditional roots but also offers some modern at the same time. If you guys have any questions about these, be sure to let me know down in the comment section. I will have reviews of both of these guys up on the website. Thank you.